What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box? Coming to you live from Tivoli, Australia, it's the Film Dogs. In today's pod, independently not sponsored by, but sponsored by Sea Legs Brewing West Coast IPA.
And CBC Co., the IPA for champions, particularly if you're a drafting champion, particularly if you're a film drafting champion, particularly if you're a film dog, film drafting champion, particularly if you're Lord Marcus.
Particularly if you like the color yellow or green.
You should know what it likes to be yellow. Yeller.
Is that because we're about to talk about a film called The Assassination of Jesse James and Brad Pitt?
Yes. Oh, so why don't we talk a little bit more about what we're doing? So our new segment for season 2 is that we are, instead of you know how like the Letterboxd has they pigeonhole you into only picking 4 movies, like your 4 favorites. You can't.
Oh yeah.
So you have to make a list if you want to talk about your 10 favorites. Like it's really difficult.
It's not even that. Everybody wants you to list top 10
or top 10 or like all these insane algorithms and da 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 da. But 4 is not enough to really describe your film identity, and sometimes 10 is too much. So we have gone with the idea of the Film Dogs brand of examining worthwhile filmographies of our beloved actors and actresses, our beloved directors, our beloved genres of film, our beloved studios, is to spend a week with them.
That's because when podcasts are zigging, the Film Dogs are zagging. We're like Apple. We think differently. Well, so far you haven't cursed yet on the pod, so it's still family friendly this episode. Yeah. That's Duke's favorite word.
Okay, so a week with, and for our very first episode, in honor of the film that is the global sensation currently,
At
F1.
the moment, yeah. F1, yep.
We're going to spend a week with the filmography.
With Bradley Benjamin Pitt.
I was going to say James because it sounds better.
Bradley
James
Michael
the Giant Pitt.
Pitt.
Brad Pitty the Fool. You get the reference of Mr. T?
Yeah, well, see, I love Mr. T because I grew up watching the A-Team.
Oh, right on.
I did. That was like my after-school treat.
Cool. That.
I grew up on like 70s and 80s television, even as a 90s child.
Because of something called syndication?
Syndication, that's correct.
Boom.
Yeah. Rockford Files?
The Syndicate. Oh, James Garner, yes?
Oh, I love James Garner.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
But I Pity the Fool for sure. I love it when a plan comes together.
Brad Pitty the Fool.
But I love the idea that you came up with. What we were talking about is spending a week with someone beloved for us. That could be a director. It could be an actor. We are the Film Dogs. We do like music as well. But everybody is talking about what's their favorite, what's the best, what's the top 10, all these rankings, where our version is if you were to spend a week with someone, knowing how large someone's filmography might be, if you can only choose 7 films, like who is Brad Pitt in 7 films? If you're trying to teach someone about Brad Pitt, who doesn't really know all of the movies, they might just know some pop culture stuff from Star Magazine back in the day. Did you ever read Star Magazine? Were you into the tabloids?
My grandmother was in the tabloids.
So was mine, and my aunt.
On grandmother time, I was all versed on the Third Eye aliens from
Brad and
Third Eye Blindville.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth.
Yeah. But I like to be able to talk about spending a week with someone.
It feels
that
homely.
brings a different. It's homely and
it becomes friendly. It becomes like family.
And
we're spending a week with you.
It's an anti-top 10 or it's an anti-top 7 because it doesn't. are we saying that these are the all-time best movies he's ever made? Or are we potentially saying these are films that are giving us a snapshot of what he's done through his career that will tell you who he is?
I think that in addition to that, yes, because that's absolutely correct, is that we also want to have our about what we love.
Yeah.
And so whether it's about Brad Pitt or Sissy Spacek or Richard Gere, we can find threads that show what we love about film.
Is this the first time you've mentioned Richard Gere's name on the pod?
I don't recall maybe ever talking about Richard Gere, but I think that A Week with Richard Gere would be phenomenal because I definitely know that guy's got 7 great films that we could spend some time talking about and teaching younger folks.
I'm pro RG.
I am pro RG. Well, let's save RG for another.
We'll spend a week with him further down the road.
Yeah, because there's also some amazing. Speaking of Star Magazine, I'm sure that we could dig up some historical archival footage from Star Magazine about RG that would be very entertaining.
Definitely.
But back to the matter at hand.
Bradley, James,
the Giant Pit. Yes,
James and the Giant Pit,
the Peach Pit.
And it's all set in love.
This isn't Beverly Hills 90210.
That's all set in love. If Brad knocked on the door, we would let him in and we'd share a sea legs with him.
You would.
I would. You would share him whatever this.
I'd make him say a password.
What is the password?
Well, there's not currently one, which means he would never be allowed into the house unless he came up with some really creative, cool thing to do. Why would I just let stranger Brad Pitt into my house?
Okay, well, let's role play this.
Okay,
you are Lord Marcus. Lord Marcus, I heard you're in there. This is Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitty the fool.
I'm here to talk to you about movies.
Okay, you can come in.
Can I?
That's the password.
That was easy.
You know the secret way into my heart. Talk about movies? Yes, I'll let Charles Manson in to talk about movies.
Just kidding. It's ice. You're under arrest.
I would also let Putin in. If Vladimir wanted to come in and talk about movies, I'm telling you right now, I don't give a poop about anybody's perception. If they want to come into our space and talk about movies, I'm down for it.
Do you reckon he would bring something to drink, or would he drink our beer?
Vladimir would. He would drink our beer, and so would his
he would,
250 level deep security team.
Would he bring us something to drink as well?
A cocktail of kerosene and fire.
That sounds like something out of the Lighthouse.
Yarg. Okay, back to the matter at hand.
Okay,
Bradley, James, the Giant Pit
you've
Peach.
thought about this. Yes. 7 days with Brad.
7 days with Brad.
How do you want to tackle this? How do you want to go about it? How do you want to unpack it?
Here's what we want to do. We have agreed to 6 of these films, so we're gonna have a little discussion about what the 7th film should be.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna start out with, and in no particular random order. Although I would allow for if there's some feedback to be had. What should we watch on the last night? What should be the culminating? I'm happy to kind of do something like that.
Yeah.
But why don't we just get everything out that we say is the films that we're going?
Yeah.
The first one for me.
Yeah.
7 by David Fincher.
Bradley
Benjamin Pitt stars
as
Detective Mills. And this is for me, his very first introduction into superstardom, leading role, leading man, a hint of what is to come. Starring with Morgan Freeman and is a serial killer, David Fincher. The 7 Deadly Sins.
And we've talked about the film before.
Oh my goodness, many times. This is I feel like it's part of our Film Dogs DNA. Like it's an automatic shoe-in that we would recommend this film. And I think it was really so he had some minor supporting roles, but this was his first like super major lead role.
Yeah, 1995.
And it's still for me, and I think that we've agreed when we did our Fincher ranking that 7 it's his first great movie and his greatest movie.
Yeah.
And for David Fincher, and I would say for Brad Pitt. that still stands as one of his greatest films, and we're 30 years later. What a fantastic piece of work. Regardless of what you feel about Kevin Spacey in this film, like he actually.
Did you just give away Seven? I'm just kidding. It's not. The movie was 1995.
I don't care
if you
we
don't
give something
know
away.
that Kevin Spacey's in Seven. You're
that he's
listening
bad
the
guy.
wrong pod.
All right. So number one film on a week with Bradley Pitt is Seven by David Fincher.
Start with Seven in an introduction with Brad. So you're talking about it's his first kind of like breakout role. He's starring opposite Morgan Freeman.
I think it's
you could argue is
we're introducing
this kind of like co-starring, but it is kind of like they are kind of both the leading man, but it is the culmination of Brad and his career.
Absolutely,
and his
up until
family.
Seven, it was all support. It was supporting roles.
Yeah.
So True Romance, complete supporting role. Like he's in 2 scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Thelma and Louise. He's barely in it, but you knew that he had he was destined to be the next big movie star. So this is like his real first. So the way that we're introducing our A Week With series, the way that we're introducing it with Brad Pitt, Seven is a very natural first recommendation because not only is it still one of his greatest films, but it was kind of his introduction to a larger audience that wasn't just the Thelma and Louise brand of film watchers, which I respect and love, but that's a very niche audience. And Seven was like his first bona fide, hey, we got a new movie star in town.
Like, who is this guy?
Yeah, totally. Like he announced himself with Seven. I'm here. I'm going to be one of your main actors.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Overly maimed, but man, it is so good. We've watched Seven together. And...
We did, and I came to it late, to be honest. And I think I kind of got the movie confused with another film through the years because I didn't fully know what the film was about until we're watching it. And it keeps going, and you keep going, oh, my God. Oh. I mean, it's Fincher.
But it was very clever.
He's very clever.
But besides being clever, supremely well acted, and with that extremely disturbing Trent Reznor score, I cannot say enough good things about this film.
And I mean, uniquely Fincher as well. When we're talking about stylistically and cinematography wise, even all the way back in '95, of just tone and lighting. And
he established himself in that. Like it's still like we talked about this in our Fincher episode. I still think that it's his best movie overall. Like he established his style, which is amazing.
Yeah,
particularly from like you said, the gritty, the low light, this low key, moody lighting, violent, dark, but with lots of humanity in it and things to be hopeful for. It's just such a great mix overall.
Oh, I think we maybe even talked about it in the past, but still worthy bringing up is I love its take on kind of this police, like young cop, old cop dynamic, but in a town or in a big town, a big city that's kind of unnamed, almost in a Batman style-esque, where you go, is this Chicago? Is it New York City? It's very, you can tell that it's not LA.
You can tell it's for sure not Brisbane. It's not Brisbane.
It's not Brisbane. It's not summer. But I love that Fincher, I think, is really good at potentially, correct me if you don't like the phrasing. He is really a world builder in films.
Oh,
in his own right, in his own way. Because you will get lost into the cinematography in where he is in location, and you believe you are there with him, even though you might not know the location. Like it feels like it could be Chicago or it could be parts of New York. It's unconfirmed and you don't necessarily know, but you are there and you feel like it is happening around you, and you believe it. It is believable.
Now, besides and I'm sure this, if we do a week with David Fincher, this will come up again.
Yeah.
That the Bradley Pitt in this film is such a rookie, but it really, I think, demonstrates what a great versatile actor he has been from the very start. And so like, he plays a very overconfident police detective that is extremely driven. And I do not think that this movie works without him. Honestly, at least for like what his contemporaries were at the time, I just feel like imagine Keanu Reeves, the 1995 version of Keanu Reeves, pre-Matrix.
He wasn't there yet.
He was not there yet.
I mean, off the top of your head, do you remember like where was Speed? Like if Matrix was 2000 or like 99,
I'm pretty sure
Speed I
was
thought
like
was before
93 or 94.
So you don't think he could get there with Speed?
It would not have been as great. It just would not have been as great a film.
Yeah, it's this. Okay, it's a different film. It's not as believable, but I would still watch that film.
I would watch it now because The Matrix has proved that Keanu was good. But what other major action stars at that time? You have to look at the other films that were out in '95 and who was busy doing these other films. And so, like Woody Harrelson, Natural Born Killers. Pulp Fiction, Heat and Casino. So you got Val Kilmer. Wouldn't have worked because he was in Heat. Robert De Niro, too old. You need just fresh. Brad Pitt was a perfect casting for this, by far. And even if there was even if production had been delayed, like just think of maybe a couple years later, maybe Ethan Hawke could have been a decent.
Fair enough.
But he would. Ethan Hawke has such a different vibe about him. And besides, like at 95, he was doing Before Sunrise. But we digress. 7 is our first entry into the week with Bradley Pitt.
This it's a pretty big jump.
Now,
that's a plunge.
What we might do is discuss, like in the future, how do we, because I don't particularly want to say if we're spending a week with, I feel like there should be some autonomy on people, how they want to digest, if they want to take our advice and not say, hey, this is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3, number 4. We just want to put the ideas out there and then let people decide for themselves how to watch them over the course of a week. Hopefully it was what we will do. Now I'd put, I probably would put 7 at the sort of the climax, but it would also serve as a great first night to get you drawn in.
Oh yeah, if it's either going to draw you in
or repel
it's
you.
going to do the opposite. But the fans, I would assume people listening to this podcast know Lord Marcus films. They know Mr. B films. If we're saying here's Brad Pitt, here's a week with him, here's 7. That is on brand for us.
Sure.
It is, and it's a fantastic film. And watch it.
All right, let's move on to the second film. Second film, a week with Brad Pitt.
Bradley James Pitt.
We're going to be picking Brad Pitt in a supporting role in the English crime classic delivered by Guy Ritchie, Snatch.
I was trying to think about what a joke would be. I was going to be like, Pride and Prejudice.
Jane Austen's classic time paper.
I would watch Guy Ritchie's version
of Jane.
It'd be like
Pride and Prejudice by Guy Ritchie.
I don't remember the C word being in Pride and Prejudice.
I don't remember bare knuckle boxing.
Jason Statham is Mr. Darcy.
Dude, that would be the best. Oh my God. Let's pitch that to a production studio.
I know.
The Guy Ritchie version. Jason Statham as Mr. Darcy, Pride and Prejudice. You've heard it here first on the Film Dogs, folks.
Bring, bring. It's already in production. Damn it.
We're suing.
That was our idea.
All right, Snatch. Oh, man. Brad Pitt as this Irish gypsy that you can't understand a daggone word he says. You might want to put on the subtitles, but you're better off not.
Well, we are the Film Dogs, so I'd like to ask a question.
Ask it. Ask away.
Do you like dags?
What?
Do you like dags?
I do love dags.
I need to know who introduced you, or how were you introduced to Snatch? It is kind of a, no offense to any of the ladies that listen to the pod, which I hope they do, but this is kind of like a uniquely, it's like Happy Gilmore. Everybody has watched Snatch. That's a dude that's at least in his 20s or 30s.
Oh, for sure. Like it branded. So
maybe not now, like in 2025. I'm not sure if
but
somebody in their 20s have. They should.
The way that people watch Pulp Fiction is the way that people should watch Snatch.
Totally. So how did you get into Snatch? Because I don't even know if I remember, but that's how big of the pop culture zeitgeist of Snatch was as a man in 90s or 2000s. You just knew it.
Here's how I came to Snatch. When Snatch came out, I had just relocated to Baltimore from Atlanta.
This is post Marines then.
Post Marines.
Yeah.
Yep. So I had I was working for Big Pharma in Atlanta, and I moved to Big Telecom in Baltimore.
The Field Dog, sponsored by Big Pharma.
So Novartis rocks. So I had just moved to Baltimore, and right across from the plant that I worked at was a movie theater, and Snatch was playing at the movie theater.
Were you aware of Guy Ritchie stuff before Snatch?
I was not. I was quickly pointed to Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels immediately after I saw it, but it was my first Guy Ritchie film.
And were you a trailer guy back then? Or because, I mean, we famously know
totally.
on the pod that you spent time your whole childhood at the cinema.
Absolutely.
So I would expect when you had time off or you were at the cinema. So were you kind of aware of the film going into it?
I was actually looking for, so I did I did a movie afternoon after work every single week with some of the crew that I worked with. And it didn't matter what film was playing. But at the time, like, man, the films I saw with my crew, like Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring when it first came out, Attack of the Clones when it first came out. We had movie day with our crew. We were really tight, like military tight. And so Snatch was of the week, and we were like, it had been favorably compared to Pulp Fiction for like this nonlinear cop classic. It had Benicio del Toro, who at that time I loved from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas and from The Usual Suspects. It had Brad Pitt. It had, but it was the way that it was advertised, and it was the most appropriate film for us to see. Now, for a group of 20 to 30 something,
I would expect
males.
nothing less.
Yeah. And we're sitting there watching it, and oh my God, we're just transported. I was like, what the heck? It was so rock and roll. It was so punk rock. This is a supporting role for Brad Pitt, but he owns this movie. Jason Statham's in it. Brad Pitt owns Jason Statham any day of the week. Man, I don't care what anybody says. Brad Pitt is the MVP of this movie, and we're doing a week with, and I know that it's like, oh, it's just a supporting role.
Well,
and so at the end of it, you're gonna be like, oh, you've passed on some of his leading roles for this supporting role. This supporting role is Apex Predator supporting role, and this is one of the best supporting. Like, it's like the same year, Ben Kingsley in Sexy Beast versus Bloody Mickey from goddamn Snatch. Are you kidding me? Come on, man, dude, that is some killer highlight reels. Well, and I'm here to support Snatch on that.
Like, this is 2000, so this is 5 years after Seven. This is a supporting role, and this is a year after him working with Fincher again for Fight Club. So 99.
Yep.
So you're already getting him working with Fincher twice. You're already getting him kind of being another co-lead role in Fight Club-ish.
And it's a nasty, dirty role. It's like, it's not taking advantage of his good looks. He's like, man, I'm going to be this scruffy Irish gypsy.
Yeah, it's almost like taking a
criminal.
joke. Yeah.
And it is it is funny. It is bloody brutal. Like, man, it's transcendent. This is like, I swear, for me, if somebody said, man, name your best Brad Pitt role right now, I might have to go with Mickey out of Snatch.
I'm Romanian.
Mickey out of Snatch.
I'm mostly Polish.
I thought you were Polish.
I'm Polish.
Polish Romanian? I also have Romanian.
And I work with a Romanian who's full Romanian. So I do like to make gypsy jokes. But Snatch made gypsies cool.
Amongst thousands of years of evolution.
I mean, don't leave your horses with them.
I know what you're saying. Or don't leave your camper vans with them either. Because they certainly will sell it.
They certainly will sell it. No, but like a classic. And also, there's a humor with Guy Ritchie and even with Snatch that is hard to almost like be replicated. Like we talked about like Lock, Stock and going into Snatch and some of the other films that he's done. But the humor and the timing, like the comedic timing, and even just the storyboarding of this film is just hilarious.
It is all the way around. If you've not seen Snatch, holy mother of Jesus, go now and watch Snatch in the most available place you can watch it. It's time for us to move to the third film.
Trace.
3-0.
What you got?
The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward, Robert Ford.
Yeah, the full title.
Jesse James, played by Bradley James the Giant Peach Pit. Pity the Fool. Man,
Yeah.
I tell you what, shot by Roger Deakins.
Yep, directed by Andrew Dominic.
My goodness, this is such a... you've drafted it in our 2007 draft.
Yeah, and you...
I was not happy about it.
You weren't, and I'm so glad I've got it.
And as well you should be. It is one of the best films in your entire draft list. It is so good.
I'll let you get to it, but just a quick shout out to Andrew Dominic, because filmography, you've got... Did you watch Blonde at all? Netflix?
I have not seen Blonde.
You got Assassination of Jesse James. You've got Chopper, Killing Them Softly, which is Brad Pitt again. He also does one of my favorite documentaries with Nick Cave, which he's worked with a bunch of times. So this much I know to be true. Yeah. He also did, which I will recommend, and you can chat or sheet on it if you must, but he did the new Bono documentary for Apple.
Dude, no. Why would I say anything bad about that? No, you fucking defend yourself in the arena of gladiate. Do you think I don't like Bono?
I was worried.
I've never, ever. Dude, I will not tolerate this kind of level of insinuation.
Okay.
Joshua Tree is one of my favorite records of all fucking time.
Well, as it should be.
Dude, I do not fucking appreciate you fucking underhandingly suggesting that I am fucking anti-Bono. No.
Follow-up question. Have you seen the documentary?
Rattle and Hum, yes.
No. Bono, Stories of Surrender.
No, I haven't.
Phenomenal.
I will. It's on my watch.
Phenomenal.
It's on my watch list.
So shout out to Andrew Dominic, director of The Assassination of Jesse James, starring Brad Pitt, also starring Casey Affleck.
My goodness. It is Sam Shepard.
Sam Rockwell.
Bloody Sam Rockwell. Oh my God, Sam Rockwell. I love
Jeremy Renner, Paul
we need
Schneider.
to do a week with Sam Rockwell. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jeremy Renner, did you just say? Yeah.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Dude,
Paul Schneider.
And it's another film, because we are the film dogs. It's another one we've talked about on Watch List. I think maybe I talked about it on the Watch List episode. But dude,
well, definitely because you drafted it. We talked about it even more. But
it did not get love.
Yeah, totally.
It didn't get love. 2007.
Because it's in the.
It got overshadowed by everything else.
There Will Be Blood and No Country for Old Men. And it unfortunately,
and it made no money.
If you were to compare it to No Country for Old Men and There Will Be Blood and The Assassination of Jesse James,
it stands up.
Unfortunately, it is number 3 out of those 3.
But it stands up.
But it's still better than all of those other films for the rest of the year.
Exactly, because they just go, what movie can hang with? Just in a list of movies. There Will Be Blood.
And No Country for Old Men.
No Country for Old Men.
And by the way, No Country for Old Men was shot by Roger Deakins, and Assassination of Jesse James shot by Roger Deakins. Oh my God. This movie is so beautiful just to look at, the way that film dogs often do.
And same thing, you get
the
Nick Cave soundtrack as well.
That and throw a vinyl on, it will be amazing. And besides, here's the thing. Okay.
Ooh, we're getting down to it. What is the thing?
This, The Assassination of Jesse James is like this mythic exploration of the Western genre.
Yeah.
In the same way that even There Will Be Blood is a Western. No Country for Old Men is a Western.
Yeah.
And The Assassination of Jesse James is definitely more of the classic definition of Western, because it's taking a Western hero.
Yeah.
But it is applying this like Bergman, Tarkovsky airiness to it that is a little bit of dream logic, and there's this shifting. And it's not just driven by the action, it's driven by the dialogue, and it's driven by the shifting perception. And so Jesse James, it tells you in the title, it's the assassination of Jesse James. It's not Jesse James starting out.
No.
And Brad Pitt plays this to perfection. It is Jesse James at the end of his mythos. And Casey Affleck, you could argue, is the actual protagonist of this story.
Yeah.
But the way that this, I can tell that this movie is too smart for the general public at the time that it comes out. Now people can dissect it and say, okay, now we know what it is, and people have a different idea of what Westerns are now as compared to what it was in 2007, where Western was John Wayne. Western was spaghetti Westerns, Clint Eastwood. And now it means so many more things. So I think that the Western lovers out there should visit this, because it probably, for me,
if there was a calling out, it just happened. And it's Lord Marcus calling out the general public, saying that this movie's too good for you. So prove Lord Marcus wrong.
I think you could go back
Watch
and
it.
You could go back. You could go back and rewind and listen to this again.
Yes.
Bullshit. That's not what I said.
Okay, what did you say?
I said the general public of 2007. So if you are
we've evolved enough.
If you're time traveling from 2007, then what he just said holds weight. But if you are the modern crowd, then you will definitely understand that what I was saying, that this movie was too smart for the general public in 2007, but now we've advanced as a society and as a species, as an evolution. Okay, so on to the next film.
Film number quad.
We need to
Quattro.
We're going to go.
Can you speak Spanish?
See. We're going to go into... You just add an O to the end of every single word, like word-o, yes-o, no-o.
It did sound a bit Japanese when you said it.
Moneyball-o.
Moneyball-o. That's Italian. What do you think about baseball?
We've never
talked about it.
I think it's boring. I think baseball is boring, but I think it used to be the quintessential American sport.
Well, now we've got our hot take.
The baseball sucks?
I didn't say it. Do I agree? Yeah.
Baseball sucks.
But I'm talking about if we get 30-second clips for reels, it's the Film Dog says the baseball sucks.
Baseball. Thumbs down.
I mean, but it is something that you can go and drink a bunch of beers with in the sun and get
as you could with
cancer.
Dostoevsky or fucking why do you need to say that baseball is like something that's great to go have beers over? There's many great things to have beers over.
That's correct.
Anyway, so Moneyball.
Yes.
Boom.
Now starring Jonah Hill.
Starring Bradley James the Giant Pity the Fool, and Jonah Hill, and many other wonderful, wonderful, wonderful performances. But here is the thing about Moneyball. What was the last time you saw Moneyball?
I actually watched it recently. When
I
say recently, I say within the last 6 months.
Right on. I think that maybe not the last 6 months, but definitely the last year. It seems to be honestly, it's almost a yearly rewatch. It's just a great thing to put on as a sort of a background film, and then you all of a sudden get sucked into it. And so Brad Pitt plays the part of Billy Beane, who is the general manager of the Oakland Athletics, and he hooks up with Jonah Hill, and he understands that Jonah has this understanding of using math to determine how to build a baseball team, and all of the old scouts hate him for it. And it just turns out that the way that they look at it and the way they explain it, this is such an engaging movie. Yeah. Particularly.
Not even just an engaging movie.
Analytics is what they call it.
But a wild story. Because it's a true story. And a true story. And written, adapted from Michael Lewis's book, who's a phenomenal writer. Especially when we're talking about like sports or statistics, that sort of thing. That's what's wild about this movie, is being a true story, but also literally what sports and sports betting and all this stuff is built on right now is Moneyball. It is this film.
Totally.
Is the analytics of what Jonah Hill brings to it.
The percent, so like Jonah Hill, first off, We're a week with Bradley Pitt, but we might not ever do a week with Jonah Hill. So let's give
I'll
Jonah Hill
spend a
the
week
props.
with Jonah Hill. I'll run that episode.
Yeah, right on. So we got Jonah Hill just plays this super intellectual. It is his least comedic role that he's ever had, and he nails it. And it just introduces this concept of using analytics, and probably ChatGPT right now could nail that shit real quick. But man, back 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, these things, it took a revolutionary way to use statistics and looking at it in a different way of saying, yes, home run potential is great, but getting on first base is what counts the most. And they used this to shape absolutely everything, and they just dominated. Philip Seymour Hoffman, and one of his great roles.
I mean, yeah. It's another one that's got a pretty stacked cast for even just people that just randomly show up or that were even involved in it. Because we writer Aaron Sorkin friggin' helped with this one.
So let's just say that we're talking about spending a week with Brad Pitt. We still want it to be quality films. Why is this one of Brad Pitt's good films? Well, because I often find myself comparing, like if I said I had to replace Brad Pitt in this movie, does this movie get made without Brad Pitt, or does it get made only if Brad Pitt is in it? Can we maybe shop around? Are these roles made for him? And I often mostly find myself using Ethan Hawke as the most comparable person. Imagine
interesting.
Imagine Brad Pitt in Training Day.
Yeah.
In 2000. So here's the thing. I think this is well representative of where he's at because it's the evolution. You've gone from him being super charming, good-looking magazine superstar. Every girl goes on opening night to his movies, so on and so forth. And now he's starting to do more serious, dramatic roles. He is tackling a more serious subject, but still brings his movie star quality to it. And this is such an engaging film about what I think is the most boring sport on earth. This is one of the most exciting movies. And at least half of it is because of Brad Pitt. And I'd say the other half is because, between Jonah Hill and the writing.
But let's give some props to Michael Lewis and Aaron Sorkin as well of just finding a story that should be told.
But I just don't think that I don't think this movie works as well as it does without Brad Pitt. But certainly it took a lot. This was a team effort all the way. And I think that's what's going to ultimately shine through when we look at the list.
Okay. Well, let's do almost semi-hot take, because if we're talking about current what's being talked about in Hollywood and Brad Pitt, especially in sports films, we've got Brad Pitt in Moneyball, and then we've got Brad Pitt in F1. And you and I offline have had a conversation already about your thoughts on F1, my thoughts as well. We watched it together on the opening night in Australia. It's entertaining in a way, but I would argue, not even argue, because I think you would agree though, Moneyball is the sports movie that kind of the world deserves. What makes Moneyball great is everything that's kind of like wrong with F1. Okay. F1 should be, it's about racing, it's fast and exciting, stuff like that. We've got Brad Pitt and baseball, which you've already argued is the most boring sport, but it's the best film. You've got Brad Pitt, leading man again, leading man in F1. But you go, oh, it's about the heart and the relationship and the connection in Moneyball. Go to F1 and you go, it's a lot of money thrown at the screen to make fast cars, and the most exciting thing is when they're behind the wheel. But you already argued, where's the relationship? Like, where's the synergy? We've taken...
Well, where's the soul? Moneyball has soul for days.
Yeah.
And F1 for me. And again, I'm not here to slag on a movie, and I'm not here to alienate people.
No, because we already said that. We're pro movies on the Film Dogs.
I'm not... my intention is not to alienate. If I do, I don't give a shit. But that's not my intention. I feel the way about F1 that I do. I do not think that it's a good movie. I think it lacks a soul, and I think it lacks a pulse, and I think that it will definitely, it clearly is pleasing a lot of people. and I cannot understate this enough. I celebrate everybody that loves this movie.
It's empty.
I am happy for Brad Pitt. I'm happy for F1, the movie. I'm happy for Javier Bardem. I'm happy for Apple Studios. I'm happy for movie theaters. And I'm happy for every person that loves this movie. But I fucking hate it. I gave it the kindest rating of 3 stars. It is the worst movie I've seen this year. It's not going to be in our a week with recommendations.
But that's why I go when we're dovetailing
So Moneyball.
Well, yeah, but if we're dovetailing it to Moneyball, that's a perfect point in the conversation. If we're talking about Brad Pitt right now,
well, he was engaged, and he had these real relationships with everybody. His relationship with Jonah Hill, his relationship with everybody in this movie, with the players, with himself. Man, there were so many great things about Moneyball that showcase what Brad Pitt does. That I just don't think anybody else could have done this role. Let's imagine Ethan Hawke in the role of Moneyball as Billy Bean. Still going to be a great movie.
Yeah.
I would go see that movie.
Yes.
And I would probably even maybe consider putting it in a week with Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
I might not.
It might even get a similar exact star rating that you would give Moneyball with Brad Pitt.
I would say, and I think that what I would argue is that most of these films, and maybe that just says something about our shared DNA, is that Ethan Hawke is a lower budget,
like
but
twin.
delivers same quality of a film.
Well, we've done in the past the Versus as well, or the combined list of Fincher versus blah blah blah.
Yeah.
That's a great that would be a great episode of talking about Brad Pitt versus Ethan Hawke, because you're right, they really are a lot like each other in many ways, and you could interchange them, and they're all going to be great movies anyways.
All right,
what's the next one up you've got? Number 5.
Number 5.
Number 5. We're nearing the end of the week because this is kind of the weekend, isn't it?
We're hitting the weekend.
We're hitting the weekend.
So we're going to go to one of the films that I drafted from the 2019 draft. Ad Astra. Brad Pitt.
In space.
Brad Pitt in space.
Sci-fi.
But this is heady intellectual sci-fi. If you like Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, tune out of this fucking program right now. This is not the podcast for you.
If you like that film.
Which film?
Are you probably listening to this podcast?
I don't know, but
I don't know.
I'm giving. I hope I'm trying to give a fair warning to people that think that Last Jedi is a good film. You're probably you probably tune in with us the way that people would want to tune into Howard Stern. Is what kind of offensive things are they going to say to piss me off next?
What kind of offensive things is Lord Marcus going to say?
Or things of that nature. But here's the thing: if you like 2001, or you like Stalker, or you like heady intellectual sci-fi, then Ad Astra is more along the lines of that. Sunshine by Danny Boyle and Alex Garland.
Ooh.
It's not an action. It does have some action in it. But here is where I think, this is my true, honest belief. I think that this is Brad Pitt's finest acting performance overall. He carries, almost every other film that he stars in, he has a supporting cast around him. So look at all, and Mr. and Mrs. Smith, he's got Angelina Jolie. And Ocean's 11, he has George Clooney and has Matt Damon and has all of these other people. And 7, he's got Morgan Freeman. In Moneyball that we just talked about, he's got Jonah Hill. And Ad Astra, he has a supporting cast, but he carries the entire film by himself in such a way, and he does this. He's believable as this stoic, mythic astronaut that just defies what is currently accepted as things that are possible. And it's so realistic, and it's so moving, and it's so emotional. Everything. He's a torn person. He misses his dad. All of these. Dude, I'm telling you, I just disrespected Americans as a whole. Ad Astra is an American, like Chuck Yeager. He was the Chuck Yeager.
My dad loves Chuck Yeager.
I love Chuck Yeager, and everybody that loves anything about modern society should love Chuck Yeager. That this is he is that type of hero. He's not out for glory. He does things because he is a hero. He's not doing things to get recognized as a hero. I mean, he's a hero doing the things that he does. And he's still a vastly human with flaws and emotions and questions and doubts and the philosophy that it engages. I mean, this is so good on every single level. And Lord Marcus obviously is a huge stumper for good intellectual sci-fi.
Yeah.
But besides that, like I love Bradley James, the giant pit peach, Pity the Fool, so much. This I think is my favorite performance by him overall for an entire movie. It shows that he is a leading man. And if he chose to be a leading, like, if he wanted to just accept film roles of being a leading man, this is all the evidence that you need. Ad Astra. It's a beautifully wonderful philosophical film that explores his daddy issues, and he's traveling across the solar system to solve daddy issues. It's such this near future dystopian. It is. I can't say enough about it.
Do you feel it kind of like the assassination of Jesse James? It got overlooked as well. Like, do you consider Ad Astra a beloved film?
I don't think
when people talk about Brad Pitt.
No, but it's for street cred. For the underground street cred. So let's say I would classify us as more as underground, because this independent art house films is our brand instead of mega blockbuster F1 Apple Studios bullshit, which is fine. Like, if please don't take my word as bullshit as being your bullshit. Just because I don't like it does not mean that you shouldn't like it.
No.
But I need to be honest about how I feel about things. And I do think that Ad Astra appeals to the art house indie crowd. And I think that it appeals. I would imagine that Brad Pitt would include Ad Astra in his top 5 films that he has performed in, because he carries the whole movie and he is badass in it. Oh my God. Yes, it is overlooked in the way that Jesse James is. And I would imagine that the most claimable, ardent Brad Pitt supporter has not seen Ad Astra,
because this is 2019's James Gray directed, who's worked with Brad Pitt a few times as well. He did Lost City of Zed.
As a producer,
yeah. He also did. Did you watch We Own the Night?
I think I watched it on an airplane, kind of in and
Police
out
film.
of haziness film.
He's directed like 11 films, considered like full films, but like Ad Astra would be his most known one. I could kind of consider this film, it's overlooked.
Do you want to arm wrestle?
I'm left-handed.
Does it matter?
This is happening in real time. This is Mr. B. This is what the film dogs have always wanted. Mr. B. Mr. B. This is the real wrestling and ex-Marine. I'm left-handed. Are you? What's your dominant hand?
I'm ambidextrous.
I'm not.
I'm a pianist.
He's a pianist. Well, so am I. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare an arm wrestle.
Oh my God.
What? I knew it would happen.
But you said you were left-handed.
I knew it would happen, so I wanted to know how long it would take.
Oh, well, we could have gone over the top.
I'm a pacifist. I'm a pacifist.
Okay.
This is going to take half a second. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right?
I declare a thumb war.
I thought you were left-handed.
That took longer.
Oh, I was all right.
We did good.
When we go for the world speed record,
pretty good.
Is this are we on the Bolivian salt flats going for a speed record?
Oh, that'd be nice. Bolivia. Ad Astra. Okay, so that was The Weeknd, number 5. Number 6, so which was kind of the last fully agreed upon film, and we've kind of got to discuss what number 7 is for the week with Brad Pitt. This would be us hanging out with him for a week. Is this hanging out with Brad Pitt in Italy, like at his studio? Because you know that he bought a studio
next to George Clooney.
I don't know exactly where, but he bought a very famous studio that Nick Cave recorded his last album in.
Oh, right on. I did not know that.
I want to say, I'm trying to add, while we're speaking live, remember the albums that were recorded in this one. It's a very famous studio that kind of went not decrepit, but he kind of brought it back to life. And a lot of people are reusing it there. So is this us spending a week with Brad Pitt
Could the
in
Color
Italy?
of Questions go there and record?
I'd love to.
Right on.
Or is this a week with Brad Pitt in L.A.? Where are we with Brad Pitt getting to know him? Is this the road trip with Brad Pitt?
Man, a road trip with Brad Pitt?
What's the car?
It's the Red Shark from Fear and Loathing.
Which was funny is because the moment you said road trip and you said yes, I was like, I immediately imagined Fear and Loathing. And then you said the Red Shark, and I was like, I don't know if I know that reference, but I think it's the car from Fear and Loathing.
But we would, it would not be Las Vegas. It would be bloody, it would be Poland.
Oh, yeah. Who's driving? Or will we
Brad Pitt,
are we taking
Brad
turns?
Pitt's driving. Bradley Pitt.
Do you reckon he would smoke cigarettes while he's driving, like
I
in
think
Fear
he's
and
probably
Loathing?
quit by now.
Would he have the clip on it as well? What are those even
Could you
called?
only if we were trying to make the Polish version of Fear and Loathing, which would be fun as shit. Okay, so next film on a week with Bradley James, the Giant Pitch.
Number 6.
We're going back to another supporting role. Although, due to the length of the movie, this supporting role does get quite a bit of screen time. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood by one of our favorites, Quentin Tarantino. Also starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Margot Robbie, Kurt Russell, etc., etc., etc.
Timothy Oliphant.
Who's that guy?
Austin Butler.
Who's that guy?
Dakota Fanning.
Oh my God, who's that? Oh, Mickey Madison.
Al Pacino.
The old Al, our current reigning best actress of all time. Okay, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah. Directed by Quentin Tarantino.
The old TQ.
A film dog's fave.
Hey, we didn't see this together, but we did see this together. We were in the same theater.
What's your memory of this, seeing it in cinemas?
Well, I went back and saw it the very next day. I loved it so much.
No. Even just the day we saw it together, but separate. What was the day? What was it like? What did you do that day?
It was a date day for me, so I was there with my wife for a mid-afternoon matinee to go see the newest QT. It probably would have been opening day, so I would imagine it was a Thursday in Australia. It was a Thursday afternoon.
And this is 2019 as well.
2019.
So we're in a pre-COVID world.
In Orion Shopping Center, the event cinemas. And I was solo. I'm pretty sure it was VMAX because...
I'm trying to think if we had VMAX back then. I hope it was, but
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was VMAX. Anyway,
what do you want to say about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Hey, look, I think that so again, we've got Brad Pitt as this mythic cowboy character. And here's the thing that is striking through all of these things for me is the mythos of the American cowboy. And Brad Pitt is the American cowboy. And then Once Upon a Time...
he's modern American cowboy?
The modern American cowboy. But even so much for because he's not an actual cowboy, but the persona. So John Wayne, cool. Johnny Cash, cool. What cowboys represent is rock and roll and cool. And Cliff Booth in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is about... he whipped Bruce Lee's ass. Man,
well, okay. A lot of people...
What?
Talk about that scene.
Cliff Booth whipped Bruce Lee's ass.
Do you have thoughts on that?
I do.
Because some people say that he shouldn't have.
Awesome. Why? Who are these people? Who are you people? I invite you. Okay. So, is the framing of this conversation
rhymes with Fawn Shenessy and has also been mentioned on Rojogan and a few other places as well.
So what's the problem? I dare someone to give me a legitimate fucking problem.
I'm fishing. I just want to throw something out there and see
P-H-I-S-H?
I just want to see if you're going to nibble.
I am nibbling.
Okay.
I am fucking nibbling. Cliff Booth whipped Bruce Lee's ass. If someone wants to have a problem with that, then guess what? Make a fucking Bruce Lee movie where Bruce Lee is fucking whipping the shit out of Cliff Booth. They're fucking perfect. It probably would be a badass movie.
I
But
think
why are you going to fucking be punishing Quentin Tarantino's movie for that righteous bullshit? Whatever. I don't care, dude. Whatever.
I think
Whatever.
with that rant right now, Quentin Tarantino would kick down your door and be like, "Hey,
let's talk about movies.
hey!" He'd be like, "I brought some beers.
Over some cocaine.
I brought some beers. Let's hang."
Come on.
Because it seems like people are willing to have actual conversations with him and be like, "Hey, why'd you do this?" And he's like, "Because I made a movie."
But here's the thing: we're at the stage of evolution where we can do that with it not him being here. Because I don't give a shit. Like I can hear it. Oh my God! Did Lord Marcus just say that Bruce Lee deserved to get his ass whipped by Cliff Booth?
Or
did I say
by
deserve?
Mr. B in an arm wrestle?
Did I fucking say
Play back
deserve?
the tape. I won both times, left and right hand, because I'm ambidextrous.
But he put it in reverse. Whatever.
Mr.
Mr. B. All right. So, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. We're now down to our 7th and final selection of a week with Bradley,
Which
James the Giant, Peach, Pity the Fool.
you could argue here. What gets included? What gets included?
Okay.
Inglorious Bastards?
Man.
Babylon?
So good.
Deadpool 2?
Okay. So,
Ocean's 11! Ocean's 11!
okay. Ocean's 11. Okay. Well, please
Dude,
explain.
if you're watching this,
Please
if you're
explain,
watching this,
please explain to me.
they're probably being like, ever heard of Steven Soderbergh? Or George Clooney?
Yes, I have heard of them. I have heard of those folks. I've heard of them.
Then why have we not talked about Ocean's 11 yet on A Week with Brad Pitt?
Okay, let's go ahead and replace Brad Pitt in this movie with anyone, but we keep everyone else exactly the same. So Matt Damon's in it.
Yeah.
George Clooney's in it. Julia Roberts in it. Andy Garcia's still in it. And is Brad Pitt vital to Ocean's 11 being as fucking awesome as it is?
No.
Okay, so that is why Ocean's 11 is not being included in this.
I thought I'd ask the question.
Now, was Brad Pitt charming in Ocean's 11?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How much screen time did he have? We've already got 2 supporting roles. So
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
let's put his supporting role. Okay, if we're gonna, dude, if you want to do this, throw the fucking gauntlet down. Let's put. So essentially, in Ocean's 11, he is a supporting actor. Yes, he's supporting in a wide, big fucking cast.
Yeah, for sure.
So, do you think that Brad Pitt in Ocean's 11 versus Brad Pitt in 12 Monkeys? That there's any
you mentioned it. I was waiting for somebody to say 12 monkeys.
Fucking even, dude, is this even worth having a bullshit arm wrestling match over? Because I'm telling you right now, I would put 12 monkeys ahead. But as the film dogs, I won't say, hey, I'm fighting for that.
He gets more screen time.
But 12 monkeys,
probably 12 monkeys,
that
you reckon?
performance is so much better than Ocean's 11. Man, fuck Ocean's 11. Whatever.
He's calling out Soderbergh. What about Bird After Reading?
Not the best of the Coens. What I would put is that we need to what we need to juggle is
Fury.
Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Smith versus the Mexican versus
the Mexican
versus the Tree of Life. So
well, I mean, now you're fishing, because if you say the Tree of Life and you know the Film Dogs and you listen to the Film Dogs, Mr. B has an affinity towards the Tree
one of the
Life.
greatest directors of all time. So, like, all right, so we don't want to make this a like, oh, we celebrate directors, but we do. As Film Dogs, we tend to celebrate directors more than we do actors. So
why do you think that is?
Because I feel that the auteurism of a film, the director is responsible for all of the good things that happen. So, you know, an actor may have a bad performance. It's the director's responsibility. The director's responsibility is to deliver the greatest film possible to the editor that will then do all of these things. And so, and I think that we appreciate the amount of creative energy that it takes for a director to do his business. And we've already said, so as the director is in charge of a film.
Yeah.
And sometimes we can replace those actors with people that might be a suitable replacement and maybe not. The director's responsibility is to do that if the studio can't afford somebody like Brad Pitt. I don't know. I don't know why necessarily that we do, but I do feel that like we tend to love the directors more than we love the actors. But particularly, I think that we do love a certain type of director-actor pairing. Let's say like Yorgos and Emma Stone.
Yeah.
Sorry, Emily Stone.
Well, I mean, we've already even mentioned Fincher and Pitt, which is another pairing.
Totally.
Yeah.
So, when we're talking about that, then I think that to have something like Terrence Malick is like you have just said, it is one of the reasons that there should be a high consideration. Because I'm telling you right now, dude, if Brad Pitt was in a fucking David Lynch film, even if he was in it for 1 second, that movie would be on our list. I would demand it, and I would arm wrestle you.
I know. I would have to relent.
You'd have to relent.
I would know, and I know that.
And if I was you, I would be demanding that the Tree of Life is on there.
Yeah.
But what I want to argue is that so most of these things, the Mexican is this very cutish version of him, and Mr. and Mrs. Smith is a cutish, charming him, and obviously he's dominated star headlines with Angelina Jolie and their very public celebrity dissolved marriage. And so, is that worth talking about? Spending a week with Brad Pitt? Or a movie where he dispels all the charm and he represents a type of American that we've not really yet addressed. That's probably more common is the super stoic, uncompassionate father that questions his judgment but has a steadfast belief in something that is beyond culture and beyond religion and beyond the everyday existence. It's our adherence to a belief. And does Brad Pitt deliver an emotional conversation in his performance that suggests that, hey, this is not Mr. Funtime. This is not Mickey from Snatch. This is not Ad Astra. This is not Ocean's 11. This is not fun. This is a hard ass.
Yeah.
That, from what I understand, especially in the American 50s, 60s, or even today, that this is a conservative man. This guy would have voted for Donald Trump.
Well,
for us to understand,
he was a military man, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like, to understand that, but he had deep feelings. He wondered about the existence of the universe. And I think of all of the things that we've talked about so far is that, so Mr. and Mrs. Smith and the Mexican are kind of covered under the umbrella of the Snatch version of crazy, super energetic, extremely entertaining, charming Brad Pitt. And like, he's a charming man full of charisma. And I think for me, that the Tree of Life, like, Malick is your dude, but I think that Tree of Life is just phenomenal in the sense that this is not a charismatic role for him. Again, I think it speaks to the film dog's dialogue. Is like, first off, you are a Malick intensive, like, you love him. That should be the number one consideration is like what we think, but what it represents about Brad Pitt. Are we going to take this cheap, cheesy role that is like less than 3-star average on Letterboxd with the Mexican, or Mr. and Mrs. Smith just because it's got Angelina Jolie? Like, we have action Brad Pitt and Ad Astra and all of these other films. My vote's for Tree of Life, and I'm almost demanding it, but I'm not demanding it. But I'm almost.
I think as a film dog, it's kind of a worthy demand because, dude, if you've not seen it, which I don't think a lot of people have, it is a deeply impactful film. And here's why I'm willing to say that as a film dog, is because you throw it on and it even got Mrs. B sucked into it. Not sucked into it because of visually how Malick tells a story.
Well, because how the voyage of time, so Brad Pitt ends up narrating the voyage of time, but a lot of that is what the Tree of Life was about. So
And
the Voyage of Time is almost an extension of the Tree of Life.
Yeah.
And like, it's so poetic and it's so moving. Like I demand that it's Tree of Life is our 7th and final entry in a week with Bradley, James, the Giant, Peach, Pity the Fool.
Because we've got because Tree of Life is 2011.
Okay.
And Voyage of Time is 2016. So it's like he took bits from the Tree of Life and repurposed them for his documentary.
Totally.
And to just goes to show how phenomenal, captivating filmmaker Malick is. You know, especially because The Voyage of Time was only a 45-minute documentary made for IMAX. And it talks about and it struggles with a lot of the same sort of stuff from Tree of Life, all the way back from 2011.
14 years. Where have you been?
Yeah.
Come on.
Where you been? If we're trying to sum up a week of Brad Pitt, which we are now, because this is film number 7, which we're arguing should be included.
I'm making the call. It's Tree of Life.
If you're someone who has maybe not watched any of the 7 films that we've talked about tonight, what films should they start with?
I would honestly, it just depends on how you want to tackle a watch list. If you have the time to really invest in doing this, personally, my recommendation is for 7, because we're going chronologically. And I would almost honestly, in this way, I would almost go chronologically, except for the latest film that we have on here is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is more of a supporting role.
Yeah.
So I might start with 7 and finish with Tree of Life, or I might start with 7 and finish with The Assassination of Jesse James. But I kind of feel like Jesse James is our good Friday night film for the slow. It's not got a lot of action in it, but it requires attention, and I think some focus to pay attention to. I stand by. I think that I would open my week with 7. And I say this because it was I remember going to the theater and seeing 7 and just being wow, oh man. And as a retrospective, just if you were making a montage of Brad Pitt over the years, if we were making a montage of scenes from these 7 films, I feel like 7 would be the natural place to be the opening where he's smashing his fist into the steering wheel as his first scene in a montage of his greatest hits. Man, I don't know.
And then would you end cap it with Tree of Life? If you had the option?
That would be a great. So let's say if we're doing a traditional work week and starting on Monday with 7, then obviously Sunday would be such a spiritually relevant movie of watching Tree of Life. I'd begin with 7 and end with Tree of Life, and that would be a great arc overall with this dirty, gritty serial killer movie scored by Trent Reznor, and then going into the sort of deep, super spiritual, energetic cattle prod of life, of Tree of Life. Man, so much to say about that. Yeah, I'd finish with Tree of Life if I was making this watch list for myself on a Monday through Sunday.
Well, I think that's 7 phenomenal films for you to watch, regardless if Brad Pitt is in them or not.
I concur.
Do you want to go back through and name the 7 that we just recommended on our week with Brad Pitt?
Let's do it.
What you got?
7 from 1995.
Snatch, number 2. Yep.
The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. Moneyball. Ad Astra. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And The Tree of Life.
7 films a week with Brad Pitt. I'm glad we're back together, Lord Marcus, talking films. Yeah, there's a lot of plans in the Film Dogs realm.
A week with silent films.
It'll be a very short podcast.
I hope you can read.
But there's a lot cooking in Film Dogs land, even though it might feel like we've been a bit quiet recently. It's just there's a lot been going on in life and in work, which is shifting.
This video brought to you by Midjourney AI video creation content. This was one massively long prompt.
We're not actually real.
Make a 1
You've
hour
been listening
and
to robots.
Make a 1 hour and 19-minute video of two guys talking about Brad Pitt movies. That's the prompt.
You've been suckered.
This is what you've just gotten. Congratulations.
You're in the Matrix. Lord Marcus,
Mr. B,
thanks for gathering and talking about these films.
my man.
Because this is the whole point of this, is because that
This holy ceremony.
this ceremony is about that life is way too short for bad cinema.
Don't waste your time. Woof.
Woof. Woof. Woof.